Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Today, not much price action. Price is pretty much where it was yesterday. Today at 5 p.m. UTC as every Sunday. We've got our member live stream today. Topic will be around funding rates and how they can be used as an indicator for trading or price developments. So if you're interested in that, check out our membership. Every Sunday we do an educational live stream. Okay, so yeah, we can see still an unchanged scenario. Bitcoin still is seen as in a wave 2. We had our wave 1 to the upside. A wave 2 pullback is currently unfolding with the nearest Fibonacci support here at 28,320. I would assume price will get there. We also have, if it breaks below that level, 27,480 as relevant support. Below that level, also possible. However, in the current structure, in this current wave 2 correction, I would not expect at the moment price to get there unless we get any crazy extensions. But based on what I see, if we see ideal development of this structure, this correction should end between 28,320 and 27,480. So let's dive into the micro count here, because looking at the bigger picture, not much has changed. So let's zoom in and we can see that price since the top here on the 13th of July, 14th of July, price has been in this wave 2 correction and it is considered currently as an ABC structure. Let me go to the 1 hour chart. In this ABC structure, we are currently in the last wave, in the C wave, which started here on the 20th of July. So we are watching for a 5-wave decline because any C wave is a 5-wave move. So let me actually just check something. You know what we could do? I had a few questions about the ending diagonal structure that is unfolding here. Yeah. So let me just open that actually for you. This ending diagonal. Just trying to search for the pattern on my second screen. Let me just do that. By the way, in our membership, we've got all these cheat sheets and everything included. Let me just figure that out. Ending diagonals, by the way, are very, very important structures, and they often appear in these C waves. So an ending diagonal is a structure which is not impulsive. There it is. Yeah, so let me bring that onto the chart. So that's our ending diagonal structure. It is hopefully better understandable if you see it on the screen like that. You can see here, this is what we're talking about. Ending diagonal in a local downtrend, either happening in a wave 5 or a C wave. And you can see that the subwaves are 5 waves, but the subwave structures are ABC structures. Now, it's not always a beautiful descending wedge like this one. In fact, they are very often messy, but it is indeed the case that in many cases you see these either a descending wedge or a broadening wedge pattern. At the moment on the Bitcoin chart, I would even argue that we're dealing with a broadening wedge pattern, so we can take a look at that. But this is a diagonal. It is different from an impulse, which is very aggressive on the way down, and where the waves 1, 3, and 5 are 5-wave structures. Right, so let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. And you can see it here. Yeah, I haven't shown the subwaves of the wave 1, but that can be considered a 3-wave move. The wave 2 anyway. The wave 3 was quite a complex one, ABC. The wave 4 as well, and then here A, B, C in wave 5. So this is how I see it. Alternatively, it could be that this in the wave 5 here, the wave B was not finished yet. And that's sort of unclear at this stage. I currently assume it was finished because the move is just sideways oriented at the moment here. Price action doesn't make any impression to break above resistance here, our small resistance area, going all the way up to 29,100. I would not consider that a very reliable resistance level or area, but we are certainly slowing down in the resistance box. What I find more important is the 29,800 level, because the B wave, if it extends higher and forms a more complex B wave, I don't want the B wave to get above that level. Or again, I shouldn't say that. It will be a signal, if it breaks above that level, it will be a signal that the overall correction could be finished, especially if it's a sustained break. I mean, essentially, that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for such a signal. At the moment, until we see actually an impulse to the upside, we haven't got a low in place. So to get an understanding and the evidence that we have a lasting low in place in this yellow support area, we need that impulse to the upside that breaks above resistance. So it will happen at some point. That's exactly the signal we're waiting for. Until then, due to the nature of this structure and how it looks like, we're expecting another dip, ideally to the nearest support at 28,320. That's Fibonacci support, or a little bit lower. Yeah, the Fibonacci extensions point especially into the region between 28,300 and 28,100. But I wouldn't be surprised if it goes a little lower. Important for you to understand that support for this scenario is down to 26,280, but I'm not primarily looking for price to get there. Alternatively, another wave count is possible. It doesn't change the assumption. It's just a different way of structuring it, where this is not an A, B, C structure, but a W, X, Y. And then we have an A, B, C, where the C wave is an ending diagonal itself. So, and this is sort of the unchanged structure. So I think this has been very consistent, and everybody who's been watching these videos for weeks and months, you know that we first of all expected price to get into this region. And then we've been talking about this as an ABC structure in wave 2 and also as an ending diagonal. So it's just purely following the script here at the moment. Again, can support break? Of course it can, right? I mean, we're dealing with uncertain markets. Of course, support can break. Am I looking for it? No. And I would also not encourage people to worry about it until we break support, because staying in the present gives you a more, well, enjoyable trading experience, right? And in the present, you can do what you need to do. You can focus on your risk management. You can plan for scenarios and things like that. So there's no reason to be a warrior, okay? Warrior in the sense of worrying, and yeah, unless you're betting the farm, which you should never do anyway. Okay, so risk management is key, but I always assume people are set up for risk management, and that's very important. That's the base anyway, foundation. Okay, so I mean, yeah, what would happen if we break below that level? I mean, first of all, we have bullish alternatives. I explained that yesterday. First bullish alternative would be that this wave 2 never finished. So there is plenty of bullish support left. And really, to get back into a bear market, to a new bear market low, it would need to break this support area. It would need to break this support area, and would need to break this support area. That's a huge downturn. And only really below 18K, I would assume we get another bear market low. If we do, yeah, I mean, it's key to be prepared. Having cash sitting on the side, I would never be fully invested. That doesn't make any sense when you're trading or investing to be fully invested at any point, because cash should be part of every portfolio, in my opinion. Yeah, of every personal portfolio. Has to do with risk management as well, but that's up to you how you structure that. But that's for me a key aspect of risk management, to understand, okay, if we drop that much, that, yeah, I mean, I can lower my cost base, right? DCA for these in lower prices, right? And Bitcoin's long-term chart is stable enough to be able to take the heat of a significant decline, right? It would not become a long-term bearish chart. So I would not worry too much, but I would worry about altcoins. But then about altcoins, I've said it many times, this is at the moment not an altcoin market. So until we have clear bottoming signals there, and we haven't got any clear bottoming signals, there are a couple of potentials there, but it's not an altcoin market right now. So don't be surprised if they take further heat. You always get the odd one outperforming others, but if we just take it as a whole, it is not an altcoin market at the moment. But there's no reason to worry, in my opinion, about Bitcoin, even if it breaks support, because we need to understand it's possible, and it's all about being prepared for anything, really, with how your overall portfolio is structured. I'm not only talking about your crypto portfolio, I'm talking about, right, I mean, you need to imagine if you're invested in Bitcoin, what happens if price goes back to 10K, which nobody can rule out, right? Does it really draw down your personal portfolio much? And that's all where it comes down to portfolio management. Do you have any other assets? Do you have correlated assets in your portfolio? You know, are you 100% in crypto, which is, in my opinion, not sound portfolio management. It's not risk management. It would mean you're fully exposed to a very volatile and uncertain market. So where it comes down to portfolio management, part of it should be cash, maybe whiskey, right? Which is completely independent from Bitcoin. You could have stocks and shares, ETFs, gold, silver, I don't know, ETFs, CFDs, I don't know. It depends on, well, not CFDs, ETFs and other assets, right? There are plenty of other asset classes. So I just wanted to highlight about, the aspect and the psychology about, am I worried if price breaks below 26,000 to 80? Not really, because I see Bitcoin mainly as long-term investment, and I invest mainly in spot, into Bitcoin by buying spot positions. Now, futures positions, yes, but then they should be stopped out if they break below support anyway, right? So from that point of view, risk management, because the market only decides if support is holding. At the moment, I mean, there is still, as I said, there's no reason to worry about it really, first of all, because of these aspects, and most importantly, because we're not even close to the invalidation point. Okay, I mean, formal invalidation is down here at 24,750, but the 78.6 fib level, which I see as invalidation point really, we're not even there yet. I mean, Bitcoin would need to break, first of all, another 9%, which is huge for Bitcoin in the current environment. We're not even close. And even then we have another support area. So yeah, I don't think the question about, okay, is another 10K Bitcoin coming or not, is something that should be discussed right now. It can be discussed once support levels start to break, and then my tone might change as well. But that's because we're adjusting to the market conditions, which are dynamic. All right, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.